What's going on YouTube of Tech today? Today we're going to be talking about and discussing my predictions for the upcoming, well hopefully this year, iPod Touch 5th generation. Now in September, as we normally would have expected, a whole new redesign or update to the iPod line. But today we're going to look specifically at one of the iPods, and that's the iPod Touch. Currently, the only difference that there was in the October iPhone 4S release was actually an edition of the white iPod Touch. However, there was nothing in terms of specs that was different about this iPod Touch, and really today we're just going to go through the different features that we may expect in the iPod Touch 5th generation. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about the camera quality, and currently now, I think that the camera is about 0.3 megapixels, which is very, very low, and it's not something that you'd want to take, your holiday pictures with or some really good shots with. Obviously, as you can see with the iPhone 4S, you have some really crisp images at 8 megapixels, but I'm looking for something at least 2 megapixels, which is, I wouldn't really call an upgrade compared to all the smartphones and tablets that you have nowadays, but I think that a 5 megapixel would probably be the bare minimum really to compete with any other tablets, although we do know that Apple likes to take things slowly. Now, I think a 3D camera is very unlikely. Now, I've had a couple of people asking me if 3D will really come to Apple, and I don't think even the iPhone 5 will have anything 3D related. I think we'll maybe wait till 2014. I don't even think 2013. I think 2014 maybe the introduction of 3D in terms of Apple, because I don't think that they're really prepared to give out that kind of technology at the moment. Now, the iPod Touch, now it's a great piece of device. However, unless you have an iPhone 4 or an iPad 2 to tether out a custom internet tethering hotspot, or a MiFi or something similar to that kind of device, you really are very limited to using this offline majority of the time, with the exception of being at home, office, or workplace. I kind of repeated workplace, home, and office twice. But I think that they should add like a micro SD slot similar to the iPad. Now that may mean that the thickness of this will increase, but let's see, maybe we can set it as a challenge. Maybe Apple may be able to make this a 3G capable device. I don't think we'll see 4G LTE speeds on the iPod Touch if that were to come out with that kind of capabilities, but that would be something that would be quite a good step for Apple in terms of a better market for the iPod Touch. However, that is basically the difference between the iPod Touch and the iPhone. Especially nowadays, you've got a lot of VoIP, so internet calls such as Skype and Ping Chat, for example, which are and WhatsApp, which are online-based applications for free messaging. And there's a new one called Viber as well, which was cross-platform. And you don't want to have carriers internationally being completely sort of taken away from their profits due to the fact that the iPod Touch now supports 3G connectivity. Now, one thing that I think should come out in the next iPod Touch, which would be quite useful, is a built-in GPS. Now, we do have obviously the iPhone 4S and the iPad 2 3G models, which has a built-in GPS chipset, which means that traveling and using Maps, the application Google Maps, is very simple. It can orientate you depending where you are, and it also means applications such as TomTom and navigators can easily find your position. Now, the iPod Touch, that actually doesn't have it, and we can only find your location with a Wi-Fi or a tethered internet hotspot. In terms of the processor, I think we'll probably look for the A5 processor chip, which I think will be the next step for the iPod Touch. If the iPad 2 does come out with an A6 processor, we may actually expect that in the iPod Touch, but that might be quite a big bump up for that kind of device. In terms of RAM, I think a 256 MB, which is the current amount of RAM, should be doubled to 512 MB, which I think will probably make sense. And finally, a last feature, this is a hardware feature. I think that, hardware/software, I think that the iPod Touch 5th generation should support the HDMI mirror out. As we saw with the iPad 2 release last year, we saw that an AV adapter was released by Apple, which meant that you can connect using an HDMI cable your iPad 2 and HD TV, and obviously now you can also do that over the Apple TV. But I think an HD mirror would be a really good addition to the iPod Touch 5th generation. Anyway, that was Top of the Tech, bringing you my predictions, rumors, and anything else that's really come along over the past year, as we haven't seen an update except for the addition of the white, as I said previously. We haven't really seen any differences, but that was just my predictions for what may come in 2012. Obviously, don't expect some holographic laser keyboard or something, because that definitely won't come, and you won't expect some 3D gestures, because let's be realistic here. Apple obviously aren't that kind of company, and unless Tim Cook has decided to do everything completely different to how Steve Jobs has done it, and I'm pretty sure he won't do that, then I don't think we'll be seeing 3D gestures or any holographic displays for another couple of years. But anyway, that's from Top of Tech. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, comment below. Any questions you have, feel free to email me with the on the website. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and leave a comment below. That's from Top of Tech. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you later.